This was written by Dr. Ernest Holmes and Dr. Raymond Charles Barker. Each of them were the leaders of the different organizations. There's no accident in this. We have come back together as one. They have written these powerful words. And I want to go through part of it, and I want to speak to it each in a little way. And some of it shows up on how we did this process yesterday. And I'm going to break it down, because if you read the whole passage, you don't always get the deep feeling and the essence and the understanding of it. So I'll give it to you in short phrases so that you can take it within and listen from a really open space. Whatever you came with today, in order to get here, let it go for a moment. Just set it aside. Behave as if this is a brand new world. You've never heard these words before, and you're about to step into an experience that is mystical, magical, and fun. I believe that no matter what the experience through which I am going, good will come out of it. I believe. These are important words. If you don't believe this, it will not happen. You have to believe it. I believe that whatever experience I am going through, it makes no difference what it looks like. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, horrendous, chaotic, disorder, disease, no matter what the experience is, I believe that good will come out of it. There is good in the divine plan. Everything is in a divine order. Regardless of what the experience, there must be good that comes out of it. Many of you know that story about the boy that wanted the pony and found the pile of manure, but being very optimistic, he said, you know, someplace in this there's a pony. Regardless of what your experience, good will come out of it. You must believe that. If you do not believe it, you will not bring out the good. You will stay in the experience. It's just an experience. You have the authority, the responsibility, and the power to change that experience. In some way, somehow, we know that we create our experience by the way in which we're thinking. If that's true, then all we have to do is change our thinking in order to change the experience. Good will come out of it. I believe that all poverty will be turned into riches. Amen. Yes, all poverty will be turned into riches. I believe that this is an abundant universe, and I have the evidence by which I can prove, at least to myself, that it is so. If I walk the beach and I try to count the grains of sand that are on the beach, I know that they are abundant beyond any calculation that I can do. When I look into the starry sky at the evening and I try to count all of that little glitter that's brilliantly casting over our sky here in the desert, and it's beyond any calculation that I can do, I believe that there is an abundance in this universe. 40 days ago, when we started our prosperity campaign, our annual pledge, in order to set up the operations for 2012, because we know that what we're doing here at the center is transforming lives, that we are saving people from their experience, that we are bringing people into the awareness that there is abundance and good in this world. And we asked you to look at what it is that you may be able to do. In what way are you able to give of your time and your talent and your treasure? And we invited you to make a pledge. And nobody said it had to be a certain amount. We just said, just make a pledge. Look at where you're at. There is no better place to start than right where you are. Do you get that? Oh, I'll start pledging when I win the lotto. Or I'll start giving when I do this. Or I'll start behaving that way when this. Start right where you are, right here, right now, because you are magnificent individuals. And the abundance that has shown up in our pledges continues to increase and multiply. And there are more, I know, that are coming in today, because this is kind of like when we bring our campaign to a close. Throughout these 40 days each week, we've had Ricky come up here and talk about this, and he's brought in individuals who have shared their testimony about what this center has done for them, what it has meant for them to walk through the doors and enter into our sanctuary and find love and peace and joy and happiness and prosperity. The evidence is there. We live in an abundant universe. All of the poverty will be turned into riches. That is a guarantee that is given to us in Scripture, through all of the traditions, in all of the faiths, in all of the cultures. Wherever you look, it speaks to that. The abundance in the universe is waiting upon our asking of it and being willing to receive. Do you get that? There's two things you have to do here. You have to ask of it, and you have to be willing to receive. If you don't believe it, you will not be willing to receive it. Fascinating how this all intertwines and connects, isn't it? Good stuff. I believe that all fear will be converted into faith. Wow. Anybody here ever have an experience of fear? No, you don't have to announce that. But just in case, if you've ever been there, if you've had something in your life that showed up as fear, I believe it will be converted into faith. And we offer the tools by which you can do that. If you have a fear and you step into the next moment and say, and I have the courage to do something about it, to transform that, to make that different, then I can move into faith. And when I move into faith, then I can move into that place where I believe. I believe and I know and I live the abundance, the joy, the happiness, the wisdom, the truth that is already there. Nothing more needs to be done other than my experience of moving through those steps, identifying where I am at, and then figuring out, how do I get to the next step? And the next step, till I get to that point to where I believe this, I live this. I tell you this often, that science of mind, religious science, is less about religion, a little bit about science, and mostly it's a philosophy. It is a philosophy. It is a faith. It is a way of living. You can read all of the books in the bookstore. If you do not do something with it, then all you have done is gained a lot of words and a lot of concepts and a lot of things that run around in your mind. But if you have not done anything with it, nothing is going to change. This requires some